yo, I'm pushing through, swerving lanes on avenues, supplying you with the mightiest of fattest tools. I'm dapping dudes, live and let live, be my attitude. I couldn't stay mad at you if you're showing gratitude. Found solace in the solitude of my room, that's the mantra. I do me, you do you. Handle the wave or drown in monsoons, but much respect due for those who crush grooves. Silly grit stated, as sinister, insidious, dedicated to maliciousness at its shadiest. An old soul like classic solid gold. In about a minute, I'ma put you on hold. And it's back to the grill again, sparking flames like how them Phillies and swishers get. Pass it on to my niggas really holding. Cap that shit, rap that shit, smoke it, relax, toke it. All these moments golden, couples overflowing heavy-handed when I pour it. Like the storm, it rains, thunder is destructive, I love it. Label me epitome, a glutton it, running it, talking shit for the fuck of it. Rub it all in till you can't get enough of it. I'm stuck in the rut, stubborn as my gut when it comes to the drink, iron lungs for the bud. And I know that you've been on your own, and I know that it's been too long. Yeah, no matter where you go, just push on, you must know. You're golden, you're golden, you're golden. Just push on, you must know.
Yo, boom, 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 and we back. This is your boy Enigma September, and this is the Enigma Sept Hour podcast. What you just heard was the one and only Artisan P with Golden. Man dropped a single about 2-3 weeks ago. And it's available on his Bandcamp, so y'all make sure to check that out. Also, I want to start off with that because actually him and Buster Wolf will be performing this Friday coming up, Friday, July 22nd. I'm going to come back to that. At the Katz Family Garage at 1872 Mill Street, Unit B4. Before I let you go away, can I get a kiss? Yo, Tallahassee, Florida, 32310 if you care about the zip code. Doors open at 7:30. Show starts at 8:30. Also, you have A. Luna Lanning and Miles Bullen in the building. $5 a pop if you're interested. And I really tried to swipe the picture because it was a screenshot of the IG, and I really tried to move my thumb. IG got me. He got me out here looking crazy, trying to swipe still pictures. What is going on? Anyway, they also be going to Gainesville the next day, the following day, they'll be headed to Gainesville. Make sure I'm not sitting on the mic again. So I'm not gonna give you that information unless you want to go to Gainesville or hit them up. Find Artisan P and Buster Wolf and give them information about the Gainesville show. You can also find them at the website, Buster Wolf's label. Like clearly, I have to have him on so we can talk about it because I don't think we talked about it since he started the label. You can go at www.citronellarroom.com. That's citronellaroom.com. Artisan P, I hope I said it right. If not, call your cousin to give you an endorsement since he's rich and famous. If you know Artisan P, cousin, you get the joke. If you don't, then it's between me and Mr. Andre. Anyway, thank you for everyone who's listening to the show. And actually, it's still going on. You guys in the future don't know what I'm saying. No. Well, today's guest. Oh my gosh. We have Mrs. Shelby Green. She'll be on the podcast. I told you guys, yeah, we're gonna get a little political around here, around these parks here, because I got gray hair in my beard, so I actually care what my government's doing. Uh, but no, she's gonna follow through, man. She's running for the Tallahassee City Commission, seat 5, and actually, like you don't care. There's a little, there's some drama that popped off in the past couple of days, so I think it'll behoove you to pay attention because Tallahassee politics is popping right now. It's kind of sad that a former mayor is being investigated by the FBI or the CIA or the government, whatever Nas said. Anyway, but yeah, and we kind of feeling the after effects of that. So thank you, Andrew. I still like you, bro. But causing the storm up here so many years later. It's wild. But anyway, we got Miss Shelby Green in the building, so it should be pretty dope. She's a very sweet and determined lady. Not to offend anyone, not calling her sweet because she's a lady. Just think she has a nice personality. You know who else is sweet? Artisan P. Artisan P is sweet. He's a sweet guy. So take that if you want to come after me. I'm not joking. Artisan P is really a sweet guy. He really is. Man, it's very calm and just deadpan for the most part. Really doesn't. You hear his music. He's his music, honestly. Like to see Artisan P, I want to see Artisan P like rock out to a Lil Jon song. That would be interesting because this is how you get guests on your show, E. Just talk about them, their personality traits. Anyway, speaking of personality traits, speaking of touring artists, man, big shout out to my man Marcel P. Black, friend of the show. Make sure I can hear myself. Okay. My man just completed his Black Outside tour. Actually, it was kind of funny. He made a good funny. I gotta give him his props. Okay, so he's a teacher. He moved to, I think, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and moved back to Tulsa, Oklahoma from Baton Rouge. And they did. And so he did schooling thing or whatever. And of course, you know, we back outside. So and he Black outside. So he went on a tour. I don't know all like the numbers. It's big time numbers. Man was moving. And yeah, man. He completed the tour, and then like he posted a picture of the day. And he was like, "Oh, I'm back to being a teacher," and it was just like, yo, it felt like a sitcom. It was like, yo, like he's been posting like all these posts of where he's been and what he's doing and the different cities and who he's performing with, and then just to come back full circle and be like, oh, back to being a teacher again. That was fun. Happy summer. But no, man, shouts out to him. Plus, also the Red Rove movement is still going. If you don't know, Red Rove stands for Real MCs Don't Rap Over Vocals. Applause. How Oplex do it? A round of applause for MCs not rapping over vocals. Round of applause. Oh, that was the wrong one. Yeah. Boo for my interpretation. Oplex. I can't do it. I need DJ Bush. You know what? I feel kind of do I even got his number? I don't know. I don't. Kind of friend of mine. I got all kind of DJs. Yo. I look at everybody else's number I got in here. Wow. That's funny. You know what? You can forever get somebody's number because there's always Facebook. How about that? Let me see if this works. Why not? Live and direct. He should be watching the show anyway. If he's not, disrespectful. Gotta watch this show. The fees, people like every week. I want to go out. Thursday. Hey, DJ Bush. You are live on the Enigma Sept podcast, I think. I'm trying to turn up the volume. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yo.
I
need you to give me pause. I need you to give me an Oplex round of applause.
So for what am I getting you a round of applause for?
For Marcel P. Black and his campaign for real MCs don't rap over vocals.
Oh, well, yeah, round of applause. Round of applause for Marcel P. Black. Real MCs don't rap over vocals.
Yeah. Bro, I can never do it, dog. Y'all California, Detroit dudes sound too much alike, bro.
But you know, man, I used to Plexus. That's Mondays, fam.
Right.
Forever, bro. Oh, you gonna do it, player? Yeah.
Yo, I appreciate that, my boy. Also, too, shouts out to you and the interview you did with Egyptian Gypsy.
Yeah, bro. I was like, this man is somebody trying to steal my interview.
Nah, man, you ran a threesome. That's all.
Whoa.
Hey, yo. No disrespect to the Gypsy. That's our girl. Y'all relax. It was a joke. It came to me. Hey, yo.
Jokes,
yeah, but no, it was dope, man. It's just good for us to come together and support her like that. You know what I'm saying? Real talk.
A good opportunity for people to get a much broader picture. A lot of times artists are kind of pigeonholed to what they put out.
Right.
And then to hear the substance behind that. There was a couple people who on my showcase don't really fool with Gypsy like that. Like they, but then they turn around and watch the interview and was like, "Oh, I'm feeling it now."
Right.
Said, okay.
Right. And that's what it is. I think it's been like that for a minute, where it's like people really fall in love with the personality.
Yeah.
And then once they do that, they get the music better, or they understand the music because it's more personable. So yeah, man. Anyway. Get off my line. I appreciate you, my boy. I love you, man.
You called me. I'm trying to be booed up.
Sarah, like, again? No, I was just saying, because I tuned in. I know Phoebe like, this nigga watching Bush again? I want to go out every Thursday.
Every Thursday. You know what it is.
No doubt, man. I love you, bro. We're gonna come down and see y'all one day.
For sure.
Sooner than later.
All
right, peace, man. My dog. Yeah, props to DJ Bush. Being a good sport. Of course, every Thursday on YouTube and Facebook, he has the 60-second showcase live. So you guys make sure to check that out. Also, too, since I've been thrown under the bus twice already, you guys make sure to check out the Phenomenal Cooking Experience, LLC. I really get my Oplex on now. Round of applause for the Phenomenal Cooking Experience, LLC. That means it's official. It's in the books. Yeah, man. If you out here cooking, literally. Getting it on. So yeah, just look it up on Facebook, on YouTube. Not YouTube. We will be on YouTube soon enough. Oddly enough, it is July. We're supposed to be doing something. But regardless, and what else? Not Facing the Book. I just said Facing the Book. IG. She's on IG. Phenom 850. That girl be cooking. But yeah. Also, hey, hold up. I gotta show y'all something, man. My baby ain't the only one around here making money. Making money. Your boy making money. Now, man, tell y'all about my world. So, of course, I'm on photography bag. Y'all know that already. Photos by Enigma Sept. You can't even see the picture behind me. That was a whole plan of even doing the podcast in this angle. Anyway, so I had a couple come to me. They wanted to do pregnancy announcements, and they wanted it in a certain way. And I was like mad nervous because, I'm not a graphic designer. I just got into the photography joint. Graphic design is, something else. Now I'll tinker a little bit. Y'all see the thumbnails. I do the thumbnails myself. Give my props. That's messed up. I do the thumbnails myself. Shouts out to Canva. So she asked for the task, and she was like, "Yo, I love your work. I think you can really pull this off." And I'm like, "You got more faith in me than I do." So I'm like, we're gonna try. We're gonna try, man. And what's crazy is, what was dope is, I'm gonna go ahead and show it to the YouTube people watching live. What's dope is she wanted to go with the belly movie thing, or the belly movie cover thing, with her and her husband announcing the belly bump, right? And so if you're watching live, you'll see the picture done by yours truly. I shot that in studio with the help of my wife, of course. She had my back. Also to my girl Diamond. They had a stylist. It was styling. Thank you, man. Thank you. I'm going. I can put this thing up. It's coming up there. Keep forgetting about that ability. Anyway, man. I was nervous, bro. I ain't gonna front. I was mad nervous about just taking the pictures, and then the graphic design. Shouts out to my man Aaron, aka Sacrifice One, because he what happened? What he said? I can't even see what he said. She gave me fire emojis. But yeah, man, I was mad nervous. We was in the studio. I was really trying to figure out how to get the effect to pop off. He told me not to give y'all my secrets, so but I hollered at my man Aaron, because he is a graphic designer. Like, that's what he do, literally, for like the past like 20 years. And so maybe even 20 plus. But he gave me some pointers, and yeah, it popped off. So again, shouts out to Diamond, her husband Henry. I think his name is Coon. Somebody called him Coon, and Facebook was trying to block it. Facebook was like, you can't call people that. And I think they realized it was just a nickname, so they let it slide. And also, man, baby Lynn. So prayers and positive energy to that couple as they prepare for a new life in their world, in their married life. And thank you for believing in me when I ain't even believe in myself. Also, too, again, thanks to my wife for supporting me and believing in me and pushing me to it, man. So, yeah, but just took my little own horn, just a little bit, man. Just a little bit. Let y'all know I'm not playing with this photography. I'm not playing. And I don't know how to get rid of the picture. Now I can see my ugly mug. Hey, what's up, boy? He ain't gonna see this till later. But speaking of my lovely wife, since I'm posting pictures, and of course, my lovely daughter. Hey, Mackenzie, Daddy loves you. I love you too, Fee. And of course, I'm talking about Artisan P. And Artisan P actually looks kind of crunk in this picture. While I was talking smack about my boy, man, actually kind of turned right here. Maybe Artisan P can get turned. He gonna fight me. Oh yeah, my godson Jason. Boom. That's my boy. That's my boy. Anyway, let's get into some real hip hop news, huh? Get into some real hip hop news. What's happening in these streets? Literally in these streets. After endorsing Trump for whatever reason, maybe because he got pardoned. Yeah. Kodak Black was arrested again, supposedly for trafficking. I don't know if he had a weapon on him. But yeah, man, he was in Fort Lauderdale, Broward County, and got caught up by the cops. Honestly, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Kodak. Not really a big fan of him as a rapper. He got some dope songs, but I really think out of all the things that y'all throw at other people about what they do, I'm really looking at y'all like y'all really vibing with this boy. Y'all really like him like that? Like honest, I would say this. I think I already went on the Kodak Black rant before, so I'm not gonna get too much into it because I gotta finish up the next topic. But for all the youngins who want to sit around and say, how did you guys let R. Kelly survive in the industry so long? He did all this devilish stuff and he continued to make music and you guys supported him until the very end. Kodak. Like, Kodak is y'all R. Kelly. Because he done already did things that should have got him out of here already. And y'all still vibing with him. The youngins. The born after 95-ians. Born after 1995-ians. That's y'all R. Kelly. And it's just kind of funny. Because y'all want to sit here and honestly, we ain't blameless about R. Kelly. But Kodak has been doing some wild stuff. Thoroughly wild stuff. And y'all still go out there and put him on the pedestal. That's all I'm saying. I was up. Dang, E, you care for an interview with Kodak? No, I don't. Honestly, I don't. I'm good. Somebody would have come to me and be like, yo, E, we got an interview with Kodak Black. I'm good. I am A-okay. But no, let's speak about the real. Man, I need a dum. I used to have that. Anyway, next on the docket, man. Y'all, I'm finna get into it, bro. Y'all finna hate me. You guys are going to hate me. I really hope y'all are listening, but you're not. I know you're not listening right now. Those who need to listen. So there was a controversy about a week ago already with local rapper T-Pain. Apparently he went on a Twitch interview randomly with DJ Academics. DJ. And they were just going back and forth talking about things. And T-Pain made the assertion that Tupac Shakur would not survive the 5 deadly questions. No, would not survive in today's rap climate. That he would get ate up by the youngins today. And everybody got into a tizzle. Is that a word? I'm using the word. Anyway, they got ticked off. They were mad. They were upset. How dare you talk about a legend of the statue of Tupac? He's the greatest rapper of all time. Yeah, about that. Anyway. Yo, I mean, even like Yuck Mouth, I seen according to hip hop, they had like a whole podcast about it. I don't know. Like just everybody was upset. I even got a call. I'm not gonna say who from who, and I ain't taking shots at you, bro. You know what it is. But I even got a call about it. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing. Hate to say it, but I won't say necessarily I agree with T-Pain, but I'm not mad at him. No pun intended. I'm not mad at him. I get where he was coming from. Now I will say this. First of all, y'all need to start doing research. All right. Y'all see little clips on IG, TikTok, Facebook, whatever, and then you go off with an opinion. And maybe because I'm a podcast, I'm supposed to go and do some research. So I did. And I went to go listen to the interview, or at least that part of what they was talking about. If you listen, you would see that they were kind of on the oil, if you will. And actually, I was going to be on the oil, but I think it'd be appropriate since I'm being political. I was going to match their energy. But but no, they was on the oil, who Act and T-Pain are both notorious for doing. But I don't think they were like that bad off, honestly. But they was on the oil. So it was getting kind of crump. But yeah, what I saw was with Pain, basically the gist of his statement was Pop wouldn't have got off the energy he gave off in the 90s because the internet got too many people, give too many people a platform to tear him down. And I kind of get that. So I don't think, and I defended that they were saying that it may be artists today that will lyrically eat Pop. And there are, even Yuckmouth in his rebuttal said that you got Kendrick and J. Cole and Lupe who are probably lyrically better than Tupac. And not even in the sense of the impact of their songs, but just the technical aspect of it. And that was true in the 90s. In the 90s, there were rappers who were better than Pop. Biggie was better than Pop. Nas was better than Pop. Ghostface was better than Pop. You know what I'm saying? There was people that Rakim was better than Pop, rapping wise, but Pop matched that with hard work and charisma. You know what I'm saying? And his messaging, which was the most important. You know what I'm saying? To say that isn't to knock him. It's just to have clarity about who brings what to the table. You know what I'm saying? Like Big had his flaws. He didn't make a lot of songs. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of stuff was in a box. You know what I'm saying? He really didn't show too much range, or didn't have the ability to. You know what I'm saying? So everyone has their gives and takes. So if someone takes away from somebody, doesn't mean that they dissing them. But unfortunately in hip hop, a lot of times that's what happens. You know what I'm saying? You try to prove a point that someone isn't flawless by showing their flaws, but then people take it as you bashing them. And then sometimes people get caught up in bashing the person. Like even now, people want to bash Pain because of an opinion. Look, if I say apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur, look here, people know what I'm talking about. So trying to act like Pain is like not some legend in himself, bro. I got a whole bunch of FSU students that was in Bullwinkles in 2010. I bet you playing at their wedding or their 20-year graduation anniversary, whatever. Boots with the fur, they're gonna go off. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. Don't try to knock that man because his opinion. But no, what he was saying is that especially with the internet and how people get off now, like Pop wouldn't be able to get that energy off because like he did in the 90s because it was limited. You had the internet, but you didn't have social media. The internet wasn't as widespread. You didn't have basically the world at your fingertips like you do now. So with Pop throwing off Hit 'Em Up, we kind of had to sit there and take it. Especially somebody like me that was a Biggie fan, like versus had he did that now, Biggie fans probably would have been online like, yeah, nah, bro. How you gonna talk about sleeping with somebody white? You supposed to be righteous. You supposed to be brother man. You know what I'm saying? What happened to Thug Life? Thugs don't sleep with your man's wife. That's supposed to be your man's. Whatever. They probably would have gotten to him. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like some other rapper, because apparently I watched some on Facebook where they said Lil' Kim actually had a diss track, had a diss for Pop, but Big had it erased, right? And this time and age, Lil' Kim probably would have got it out before Biggie would even found out. Big and Un would have even found out about it, and it would have been out, and it would have been on. You know what I'm saying? So I really see what Payne is talking about as far as Pop wouldn't be able to get that energy off like he did back then. Maybe it's all at the end of the day, it's all I can't even talk. It's imaginary. We don't know, right? So you getting in a tizzle, you getting upset because a man is expressing an opinion about a theoretical situation that doesn't exist. You sound crazy. You sound wild. But I get it. It's Tupac fans. And look at it. As a Biggie fan, I would say this. This is why, and it's amazing. Almost 26 years later. 26 years later. As a Biggie fan, I literally remember when Pac died, I was like, Biggie gone. I said that to myself. I remember clear as day. When I learned Pac had died, I was like, Biggie is gone. And 6 months later, I was proven right. Because I already knew, even at that time, how almost manic people were about their fandom of Tupac. And I was like, somebody gonna get Biggie just off GP. And it happened. So it's almost like not surprising, but it is surprising. 26 years later, that the fandom of Pac is still alive and well. And hopefully it doesn't overshadow, the goodness of, the songs that he made, because he made amazing songs. So Many Tears is one of my favorite songs all time. Love that song. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, fandom and celebrity culture in America, it's crazy. It's wild. And part of the reason why we are where we are today, honestly. Just my opinion. Anywho, we're gonna get into the next track. Got a little too serious there. Got kind of dark. We're gonna go. Speaking of Oplex, I gotta make up to my mans for having DJ Bush come in and do his vocals. So, because real rappers, real MCs don't rap over vocals. So this is my man Oplex with his joint MetaZen, and then I'm gonna introduce the song and present to others Miss Shelby Green. This is the Enigma Sept Hour podcast. You got time, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a world premiere for sure. Zoran's in the building. You know how we do this. Report to the dance floor. Huh? What? Yeah. Teach me how to.
In 5 minutes or less, how to show them the best and never digress. Hit them with that Elliot Ness, untouchable, yes, incredible. I hope with the flex, the prominent best, bulletproof, no need for a vest. In a position to metamorphosize my intuition. Now they wishing I never got a chance for exhibition. It's too late for that. Cause I'm back, we put the earth back on track, and that's that. They was acting timid, so we had to jump back in and set it back to the course. Where you said it, then you meant it. If you meant it, then you said it. When they said it, then they played it. Then they rewinded it back so they could get reacquainted. Knowing every single line, every noun, every verb. Every time that song played, they would say it word for word. Now that's that hip hop, that shit that I love. I grew up on that, that be my word.
I don't even want to say it. Let's go. They call me old school, but they always play it. When I'm rolling dice and another say so should we reminisce over you, my God? The team is tight, we all get it in. So sit there reaching for that medicine. A different kind of fraction when we break it in. So sit there reaching for that medicine.
So, you gonna take the blue pill or you gonna take that red pill?
Shit, nigga, I'm gonna take both of them motherfucking pills, you feel me? So that way, if fucked up shit happens, I could always come back from that fucked up shit. You feel me?
Boom, 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 and we back. This is the Enigma Sept Hour. What you just heard was MetaZen, my man Oplex, featuring my man Makki, aka Duck 13, aka if his mama named him Duck 13, I'm gonna call him Duck 13. And before I introduce our guests, I want to say hello to my mother. And yes, it is. I know dope artists. Hello to my mother. My mother's in the building. You're not looking at my mother right now. Don't get it twisted. I will hope you guys will see all the gray hair in my beard and the youth in our guests. Know that she's not my mother. But she's trying to birth a change in Tallahassee and the surrounding areas by bringing new, fresh ideas in the political arena in this city. So without further ado, we have Miss Shelby Green in the building.
Thanks for having me, Enigma. I'm really happy and excited to talk with you today.
Nice. Hold up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I think my headphones are. There we go. Okay, cool. It was me. First of all, glad to have you on. This is super dope on my end. This is actually, I think, the second political interview I had. Not as political, but non hip hop really.
I feel like there's politics in everything, but especially hip hop. Especially when you talk about like the territorial significance of hip hop and like what is considered good or bad, or there's like beef or social interactions in hip hop. So everything is political, but I think especially hip hop and culture as well.
Yo, real talk, yes, and especially with the last topic with T-Pain mentioning Tupac. Of course, growing up in the infamous East Coast, West Coast rivalry, which wasn't. It was really political, and like you said, just everybody drawing lines and trying to push their way, really blue reddish, if you will. And then it came to a head, and you had this tragedy like 6 months apart, and then the aftermath was just kind of like the effects of the aftermath, the trauma still exists. I mean, sort of, I guess even if you want to mention, I don't know what would be equivalent in politics. I was it an insurrection? It's like the trauma behind that, like, yo, it came. I take that back. Probably more so. It's gonna sound ridiculous when I say it, but honestly, I feel like it's equivalent. 9/11, like Tupac and Biggie's death was like hip hop's 9/11. It was like changing of the psyche of the culture, and even to this day, that's what I was saying. Like, it throws me off to think that even in 2022, like, people are still, traumatized. Like, you mentioned Pop something negative, and they go off the rails. It's crazy, and interesting actually. But anywho, so you're here because I wanted to get to know more about you and your platform. We actually met. Almost forgot.
Juneteenth.
Was it Juneteenth? No, it was before Juneteenth.
It was the Juneteenth event at Cascade. I think it was the day before Juneteenth.
Okay. And we met up, and I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I have a platform. I'm not doing it currently right now, but when I bring it back, I want to have you on because I want to go more into political stuff, especially local.
Yeah.
Give people, you know what I'm saying, an open platform. And I like the direction that you were going as far as how you look at government and some of the solutions that we can go for. So yeah, I mean, if anybody out there want to take it as an endorsement, you can. I don't care. What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So if you want to go ahead and give people a rundown who you are and what gave you the inspiration to say I want to run for the city commissioner seat 5 in Tallahassee.
Right. Yeah. Well, let me go ahead and give my little speech here. So, hi listeners. My name is Shelby Green. I am running for City Commission in Tallahassee. I first came to Tallahassee in 2014 to study chemical engineering, and as most students, I expected to leave. Then the pandemic came. I graduated during the pandemic and decided to stay and help out where I can. I have always noticed that Tallahassee's politics or Tallahassee in general just needs more progression, especially on the south and west side. We're just kind of stuck in this endless cycle of change never coming because the people who are supposed to bring the change leave shortly after they graduate. So people become complacent, and then Tallahassee has a history of segregation. So some neighborhoods' problems are not representative of the entire city's problems. So yeah, the main reason why I decided to run is I was really just unhappy with how the city handled the pandemic. Like during a time when families, everyday people were just struggling and making sacrifices, our city should have been doing the same thing. We had a utility moratorium in place, and then we ended it without a public notice, without public communication. And so you just had people who were one day thinking that they didn't have to pay their utility bill, and then they're getting disconnected without warning and without knowing that there is existing help available. So you had people who were going into debt or having to take out loans or having to put that debt on their credit card, people who could not afford to pay their utility bill that got their lights turned off and then had their debt sent to a debt collection agency. We had people who were just really struggling. And when I went to the city commission to just let them know what I experienced and asking for them to at least print disconnection dates on utility bills or to better communicate existing relief options, it was like it just went in one ear, not the other. And that is unacceptable, but especially during a pandemic, and especially when the city says that Black Lives Matter and they paint that mural in Gain Street. But when a majority of the people who can't afford to pay their utility bill and can't afford to live are struggling and need help, you give them help. That is what the government is supposed to do. The government is supposed to serve the will of the people. When a majority of the will of the people cannot afford to live, you provide relief, you provide information, you provide them access to stability. And so the city was just really unresponsive, and we can't accept this poor level of treatment, especially in low-income neighborhoods. We deserve better. And so I was like, well, let me be the change I want to see. Let me get into the space and try my best and share my experience along the way, because we need committed, dedicated, hardworking people in local government that will solve the people's problems. Right now, we've seen the city at a standstill. Either it's going in one favor with a 3-2 vote, or it's a no, and there's no progression for the working class and lower income people. We just get a no. We need alternatives. We need a solution, whether it's low cost, low effort, but it's something. We need to be moving a little bit, at least in the positive direction. We cannot afford to be in a standstill. We have too many problems coming to us. And now is a time to get someone who is committed and effective in office. So that's why I'm running.
No doubt, no doubt. I love it. I love it. And it's pretty much a lot what I stand for. I do agree that the city should be more progressive, and not even in a political party sense, but just progressive, just naturally, just in how we approach things. I mean, Leon County is one of the most educated, if not I think it's the most educated county in the state, and definitely one of the most educated in the country. So we have this brain trust of people with ideas and thoughts and abilities between the two universities, the hospitals, the community college, that can come together and really put together, again, a progressive agenda for the city government and the county government to come together and make this city better than what it is. And it's like you said, it's a standstill because you have those who don't want to change. They want to serve whatever power or leverage that they have for whatever reason. And one of the reasons why I know for me personally, I'm like at any level, local, state, or federal, like I'm all for term limits and not for someone to get stagnant in their place.
Right.
You know, come in, do what you got to do, and then
Right.
move on.
Get
and
in, and get out. 4 years is a significant amount of time, especially when you think about children. From 0 to 8, those are the most foundational years of their life.
Right.
4 years is a term limit, is just a term for our city commissioners. If you have not done anything in 4 years, you do not deserve to move forward.
Right. Right. I'm definitely for that. So again, it's one of the reasons why we came across and you told me that you were running. Like I was gun ho for it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm all about someone for new ideas and just getting new blood in the system, especially if it means bringing real change. Because like you said, as far as the segregation of Tallahassee, as a kid, and oddly enough, I was in the same area up until maybe about 4 months ago. Me and my wife moved. We're now in what's known as the poorest zip code in the state, 32304. But prior, we lived near Magnolia Drive, and that's where I essentially grew up at. Okay. And I remember as a kid, or as a high schooler, I was walking around, and I basically walked up Meridian Street, South Meridian, past Magnolia, up towards the Myers Park area. And it dawned on me that I went from like literal like projects over Texas Street to walking amongst mansions and a golf course in like a 2-mile radius, just going north. And it really opened my eyes to, like I said, the segregation just even that close, right? Of the haves and the have-nots, right? And and as I've gotten older, this was telling my age, some 20 plus years ago. Now, it's even more so. You see more of those who have and those who don't, and not really a really middle ground economically. And I attribute me personally, I attribute it to not bringing in economic. The right type of economic stimulus that we need in the city. Now, I know you, and I'm gonna bring up your website in a few, but you focus on environmental scientists, and you work for the Land and Soil Conservation. Am I correct?
Yeah, I actually had to resign to run, but I am a former public servant, served as a soil and water supervisor for Leon Soil and Water Conservation District, which is a mouthful.
So I want to know, because I know there's a balance. I know growing up there was always an issue of wanting to bring things to Tallahassee, but also the fight to preserve Tallahassee's beauty, nature. And granted, like I love my canopy roads, my canopy roads, but on the flip side, I'm like, I also want some real jobs to come in, and there has to be a balance between the two, between the environmental aspect and bringing jobs and financial aspect. How do you think it's best we can balance that too in a city like Tallahassee?
Yeah, I think half of Tallahassee wants to preserve our trees and our canopies and just this charm that we have. And then the other half is like, yeah, this is nice, but Tallahassee is still a really rural city. We could see a lot more development. And so I kind of fall in the middle. I think that we can grow in a way where we are focusing on building sustainable, walkable, bikeable communities, where we are building development that is concentrated within the city or concentrated within areas that need investment before we expand and move out to the Northeast. I think there's a lot of opportunity within our city center, especially in the Southwest side in 32304, where college students are, where low-income families are. If we build housing and co-locate resources such as recreational services, childcare, grocery stores, if we build in a way where people can access all they need within a half a mile, 1 mile radius, that allows us to keep our trees in a way by using them for landscaping, for shade, to encourage more walkable and bikeable behavior. But it also allows us to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. If people have what they need within a half mile, 1 mile radius, they don't have to get into their car. Or if they do get into their car, it's not a very long drive. And you can kind of, by building an environment that takes care of people's shade, it's welcoming, you are encouraging them to get out of their cars, to socialize with their neighbors, to contribute to the local economy by spending time and money in local businesses, versus what we kind of see right now in Tallahassee is most of the new development that we've had over the last 10 years or so is either luxury student housing or suburbs.
Child.
Right. So it's like, we want development, but the development that we have right now is contributing to sprawl, greenhouse gas emissions, it's unsustainable. And the other development that we see is for luxury housing for students that are going to be here for a short term. And it's not even equitable. When I was a student, I couldn't afford to live in there. And why is it that, people who can afford to pay that premium also get access to safety and better treatment? Just because I can't afford to pay $1,000 a month does not mean I still don't deserve to be able to walk or bike to school, or for me to feel safe or comfortable in my own home. So Tallahassee is really questioning, what does growth look like, and how do we grow in a way where it's affordable, sustainable, and equitable? And that starts with taking advantage of the resources that we already have and building where there is potential. There is a lot of potential in the southwest part of Tallahassee, but we are incentivizing developers to build in the Northeast. That leaves out the population who are below the middle class. What about them? And how do we incentivize developers to build middle housing and transitional housing for college students and young professionals who may want to build a life here? So yeah, Tallahassee is really struggling with answering the question of, what does sustainable growth and development look like? I think both sides want sustainable growth and development. The question is how do we actually get there?
A word. And also, too, before we move on, I got to do this, man. Sorry, Shelby. I'm gonna say something kind of crazy. My wife is turning me on right now because she being intellectual in the comments, and I'm
wait, where are the
love
comments?
it. Yeah. I'm gonna read it. So she stated, "Change is the law of life. Those who look only to the past and present will certainly miss the future." That's a quote from JFK. She said, "Our government should reflect the changes that incur or will incur. They are not filling all of the vacancies. They are building housing that isn't needed, and that's physically, that isn't physically responsible."
Right. I kind of also like your wife bringing up those comments reminded me, when we build housing, let me rephrase that. When we are investing in housing, we are investing in people. So if we are investing into housing in the Northeast, that means we are increasing the population for people in the Northeast, which means that they may have a political philosophy that does not adequately represent the entire city. And so they may be able to sway more votes to build more housing or more development that's in their favor. So recently, Tallahassee has been struggling with displacement and gentrification and tearing down housing to build stormwater ponds and things like that. And so another question is, where are people going to go? And I'm trying to like get to the point. And I think the main point I'm trying to make is when you cater to one version of or demographic in terms of development, that means you're leaving out another subset of the population. And when that population does not have housing, that means that they are being displaced, which means they no longer have political representation. And so we've seen a lot of the reduction of the political power, especially of Black communities, because Black communities have had roadways and parkways go through them. We have suffered from eminent domain. So Black neighborhoods are especially being attacked by this new definition of growth, because we are also losing our land and property, which means we're also losing our political power and capital and being able to truly and adequately represent the needs of the Black community. So I think what I'm trying to say is growth, there's a consequence to growth, which is displacement. And who are the people that are being displaced, and how does that impact the that's power?
That's really a really good question, and one that I had. One example in particular is South City. In that they South City, I've had families that I've known live in South City. Oddly enough, I've never lived there, even though I'm from the south side of Tallahassee. But I've had aunts, uncles, cousins, family friends. My sister was babysitted. Her babysitter lived in South City. And so recently they closed the property now, and therefore removing the residents. And the idea was that I guess the residents would have first dibs on the property they're going to build. But and I don't know everything that's going on in particular. I don't know the particulars, but I know that apparently now there's a situation to where there's a lawsuit going on regarding, I guess, whatever was told to the residents. But with South City, with 4th Avenue, in the Good Bread community, like that was always one of my questions. Like, if they're tearing down these housing projects, and granted, it may be necessary or at least needed to be renovated, but where are these people going? Like, where are they? Because what they are building, I know the people that were living there before are not living in what's there now, or will be. So it's like, where are we? What's the city doing to make sure that these people are in affordable housing? And then on top of that, just making housing affordable, period. Because I've definitely, and now being married, me and my wife, definitely felt the pinch of, like you said, luxury student housing going up. And then not only is those units pricey, but then now other homeowners or landlords or whatever, they looking like, well, if they paying $2,000 for a room, I can at least charge $15 for a 3-2. When that 3-2 may not be worth $15, or people may not be able to afford that $1,500.
Right, exactly. So, I think I want to draw on 2 points here. One, with building luxury student housing like in Frenchtown, that is incentivizing landlords or property owners to cater to a different market. You have a historically Black neighborhood that is being encroached upon by FSU that is now losing land or their community to a transient population. And so now it's almost like you build this situation where it's the community versus FSU, or it's the community versus these students, instead of thinking, how can we build so that we encourage the existing property owners or landlords or homeowners to build accessory dwelling units, or build smaller development that allows them to still capitalize on it in some way. So we're building now in a way where it's just to take over communities instead of to bring communities together. I'm sure that their FSU population and the indigenous population can get along, but we're not building in a way where we are encouraging social cohesion. Instead, we're putting gates around these housing complexes and saying, you stay over there and I'll stay over here. And I will just get in my car to go from A to B instead of interacting with my environment.
Right.
this question of growth. Yeah, we need growth. Growth is important, but who are we growing for genuinely? And how does that growth influence displacement and the transition of a
Right.
neighborhood and its character?
Now, I've always thought that the catering, I guess, if you will, of the student population was problematic. And I think that's the problem with the growth of Tallahassee is if you're catering, like you said, the perfect word, transient, a population that you're not, first of all, you're not providing any way to keep them here. So they're leaving because there's no industry here to keep them here. But then you're catering to them and that money is fleeting. Like they're here for a minute, then they're gone, and you're not getting any substantial growth. It's only, a quick in, quick out. And also too, like that's why I loathe whenever there's a new restaurant or chain, because it seems like you're just catering to that population as opposed to bringing some kind of business or industry to Tallahassee that's going to sustain over time, that someone can actually build a career around versus something they just want to have until they finish their master's degree.
Right.
So yeah, I totally agree with you with that. Also, my baby waving. We got a little tea before we get into the next songs.
Okay.
We got a little tea in the building. Oh, I don't have my dum.
Dun, dun, dun.
We'll clap for the tea. Maybe I'll laugh. How about that? I got some tea. So apparently there's been a little back and forth between two political groups. I don't think they're PACs, but two political groups. And so also, I guess a little mudslinging. How about that? Let me use my journalism degree and use the word mudslinging. A little yellow journalism out here. But I guess you already made a statement, but I want to, if you want to go ahead and let people know what's your position in regards to anything coming from either the Our Tallahassee camp or the Grow Tallahassee camp, which at this point seems to be coming to a head and affects the campaign that you're trying to run right now.
Right.
Already.
So to give people some backstory, I used to be involved with Our Tallahassee. I actually helped, get the platform up and running and filing the initial legal paperwork. And then I left shortly after because I didn't agree with its direction and some of the unethical behavior that I witnessed at my time there. And, I'm still sharing my story associated to my time there, but, putting that aside, putting that out in the air. So how this came about was I was minding my business and then my friend sent me a message and he's like, hey, you're referenced in this Grow Tallahassee article. And I've actually never really met any of the Grow Tallahassee people in person. So I won't be able to really fully speak on their mission statement or the policy, the change they'd like to see. But what I will speak on is I'm mentioned in the article, they did not reach out to me for a comment. They said that I was an accountant, which I'm actually not. I'm a software developer. My dad was an accountant. And they're introducing false information to make it seem like I only ran for city commission to strengthen the political power of Our Tallahassee, which is not the case at all. It's a false narrative. So how I really feel about Grow Tallahassee and Our Tallahassee is that we have allowed online news publications or platforms to influence our elections without ensuring that the information that they're sharing is accurate and genuine. These are platforms that have no need to follow any journalistic integrity or standards. And so people are consuming this information under the belief that this is true information, when in reality, it is information that has been constructed in a way to manipulate and influence voter behavior. And that is the goal of both of these platforms. It is not to inform or to educate and to encourage civic participation democracy. It is to influence and manipulate to get a certain outcome, which is people's votes or money.
Right.
And so in terms of like policy, it is like what it is. I'm not like pro or for either of them, but I think at its core, what I am against is using false information or presenting information in an untrue way to manipulate and to influence. Right. That is what I'm against. And so that's why I wrote out a statement, because no one should have been misconstruing my story in order to take advantage of people. Like, I should have been reached out for a comment. If you're going to write my name somewhere, reach out for a comment, confirm the information. But the fact that they didn't do that leads me to believe that they had no intention of presenting accurate information. So I think Tallahassee politics is in this really weird phase where we have news publications fighting against each other, and they're not really talking about the true issues. The true issues are people can't afford to live here. The true issues is that we have, issues with police brutality and people who are feeling depressed and alone and suicidal, or families who are struggling to keep their kids up in the classroom. We have a lot of issues here that people are not aware of, but instead we have been discussing
people playing games.
Yeah. There's this duel fueled by ego and power, not by, this is information that I found out about that I want you to know about. So that's how I feel. I think just to wrap it up, it's just, we have two publications who are not as transparent as they should be.
Right.
One is calling one thing, another one's calling another one thing, but they're both at the end of the day using similar tactics to influence voters and to capture their vote. That is, in my view, unethical behavior.
No doubt. Now, I want to go ahead and show the people your statement from your Shelby Green for Tallahassee City Commission page. And Shelby states, let me correct the record. I am not involved in any smear campaign against Commissioner Williams Kopp. I have no affiliation with Our Tallahassee or the ad that was ran against her. I have no affiliation with Max Hurlell, Bob Lotane, or anyone associated with Our Tallahassee. I severed ties after my departure. I am running to unseat Commissioner William Cox because I, her constituent and former supporter, believe her complacency and disregard for effective, adequate public service is unacceptable. Now, we'll get into who Ms. Green is running against, and also to more information about her in just a little bit, but we're going to take a little break while you guys can dibble dabble in her Facebook page if you like. And I'm going to play a couple of tracks, and then we're going to come back and give y'all some more of this tea, this Tallahassee tea, piping hot. So anyway, I got my man Tareef Knockout with Small Town, and then my girl C Red featuring Shay Butter with Forever Soundtrack. This is the Enigma Sept Hour. You got time, baby.
Grew up in a small town in our own world. Had a thing for this shawty, wish I knew her. but I only sit online on computer. I'm talking so bad with text or I'm a cover. Grew up in a small town in our own world. Had a thing for this shawty, wish I knew her, but I only sit online on computer. I'm talking so bad, caught this signal cover. Grew up in a small town, used to stay off Wanish Way. Worked in the mall, the food court at Chick-fil-A. Even called out my name as you handed me my tray. I looked you in your eyes and still had nothing to say. The embarrassment was written all over faces. I about face and walked the other way. And to be quite honest, I can't shake it to the day. Add you to the long list of regrets in my life. Not to make matters worse, you a mother and a bride. Ask me if I'm okay, I just lie and say I'm fine. There's no queen, there's no UNITY. Pretty girls rarely like nice guys. They in the pizza nights and some cheap red wine. Them South Florida beaches, you can see sunrise. I'm chasing limelight, more rhymes, tour lines. If things don't work out next life, I won't think twice. Grew up in a small town in our own world. Had a thing for this shawty, wish I knew her, but I only sit online on computer. I'm talking so bad, won't text her, I'm a cover. Grew up in a small town in our own world. Had a thing for this shawty, wish I knew her, but I only sit online on computer. I'm talking so bad, caught this signal cover.
Always chose integrity over the cheddar. Dealt with some cobras, it's a death seat to hold a vendetta. I missed some closure that I thought I needed. RIP'd it. Deleted old texts that I used to stay up all night reading. Some folks we really hold in high regard, just all like seasons. No, I ain't perfect most of the time, it seems too far like Eden. Even when I know who I'm the image of, it's kinda wild to think the chick who lied on images, acting like she never did. Spent no time in jail for shit, and if she did, she made a belt just based on how the scales are tipped. Wow. Life ain't fair, neither is favor. No, I'm breathing cause loved ones' needs interceded in prayer. It's layers and levels to fight the ways of the devil. Planting seeds of righteousness like a spade and a shovel. The world is yours, so you got the right to make it incredible. So find that joy that they like to take and don't let it go.
If I ever had a soundtrack, I know it sounds something like this. It's in a style, but I'm righteous. It's been a while, but I might just turn my music up, cause I'm trying to loosen up. I've been grinding, moving done. Now I'm finally choosing done.
I got blessings to show from.
All right, boom, 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 and we back. This is your boy Enigma September, and this is the Enigma Sept Hour podcast. And what you just heard was Tareef knockout with Small Town off Wanda's Way, and C-Red featuring Shay Butter with Forever soundtrack. And I want to make a point. Two of the illest rappers to come out of Tallahassee, especially in the past 5 or 6 years, and they both got up out of here. Tareef done moved to Tampa. C-Red is in Houston. Cause bro, they couldn't do nothing here. They couldn't do nothing here. And y'all hear how dope they are. You know what I'm saying? That's little sis, that's little bro. Nothing but love for them. But it just really hit me listening to their joints. Like they had to move away. Because it wasn't nothing here. Tallahassee just man, anyway, if I get emotional. Yeah, we got Miss Shelby Green. As you can see, if you looking at the big screen, who's running for Tallahassee City Commission seat 5. She's will be facing a campaign against incumbent Diane William Cox and Adner Marcelin. That's his name, right?
I think so. It's either Marcelin or Marcellin. I'm not sure the pronunciation.
Yeah, it's probably Marcellin. I'm gonna go with Marcellin. Who honestly, you know, I don't have no beef with them. I actually met Miss Diane William Cox a couple times before, and she was personable. So, you know, not too much beef, even though I will say, for me personally, and this for anybody out there, this is how I okay. But look, and you can speak on this if you like, Shelby. my agenda, the thing I'm looking at going to the polls, I believe in August, is the FSU vote. For those who don't understand, there was a heated debate regarding discretionary sales surtax funds, which funds the Blueprint 2020, I think 2050 now. Used to be Blueprint 2000. There's 2020 and 2050. And usually discretionary sales tax funds, surtax funds, is usually used by the county to fund, different, usually education and roads and things of that sort. But the city commission has got to the point, and the county commission has got to the point of being able to use the money for other things, if you will. So there was a debate regarding, I think, a $27 million basically giveaway to Florida State in regards to renovations to newly renovated Doak Campbell Stadium. Pretty sure the championship was in 2013. I'm pretty sure it was renovated sometime after that. I remember joking that the renovations to the stadium and to the Civic Center was Jameis money. That was my own personal joke. Wasn't nobody else saying that. If they were, they got it from me. That was Jameis money that they were using. And so yeah, there was this contention if they should give the money for Florida State. I, of course, opposed because I felt like Florida State was either doing okay or maybe they need to win a conference championship once in a while, and then they had the money to renovate their own stadium. However, my school is still playing in the stadium that looked like it's still 1977. But I digress. Regardless, there was debate, and eventually the money was given to Florida State. And so me going to the polls this fall is if you voted for that, I ain't voting for you. That's pretty much where I stand. Not saying it's the best point of view, but that's where I'm at, unless I can be convinced otherwise. So anyway, I said all that to say, Shelby, if you want to either express how your feelings on that, and or if you just want to express how do you view facing, your I guess opponents, if you will, in this contest.
Yeah, I think a lot of people share the same sentiments, which is, why are we using public dollars that are supposed to be for, public investment and enjoyment for stadium upgrades that the public will not be able to enjoy? We previously used Cascades Park Blueprint dollars to renovate Cascades Park. That is something that everyone can access and enjoy and feel like their tax dollars are being used for the public benefit, versus with FSU, whatever money that FSU makes from this deal is going to stay concentrated within FSU. It is not going to trickle down to these neighborhoods that surround FSU that have looked the same over the last few decades.
Ciao.
So I just want to point out the argument that most of the commissioners made for giving FSU millions of dollars was, well, they're going to be bringing jobs and that money will, impact the neighborhoods around it. FSU is going to keep whatever revenue that they make. And if there is any revenue made from patrons visiting Tallahassee to go to the stadium, they're not going to go walk over to Providence. They're not going to go walk over to Lake Alberta. They're going to walk over to College Town, Beacon Street, and that is as far as they'll get. They're not even going to walk to downtown. So the argument that I'm making is FSU did not need that money to build or to repair the stadium. And if they needed money, the city commission and the county commissioners should have negotiated with FSU to either find a lower value or to receive something of significant value in return. We are going to receive in return transient jobs. What about a scholarship program for residents and poor college students? What about forgiving college students debt or reinstating their schedules? What about building housing in
maybe even funding a performance art center? But my bad.
Right.
Oops.
What about, I mean, even the lowest fruit could have been, let's make sure that we make this space publicly available or rentable to Tallahassee residents, or let's make sure that all Tallahassee residents can receive access to FSU libraries and education. None of the commissioners fought for anything in return. And so there's a lot of issues with the blueprint vote. One of the issues was, what was the alternative? You can say no, but you have to give an alternative solution. And that was one thing that the opposition did not do. They just said no, and there was no alternative put in place or enough research for an alternative to make a more compelling argument. So I think the biggest issues going into this election are, one, are our commissioners actually doing their job? Are they actually providing effective policy solutions to solve our problems? And who are they representing? And who are they solving problems for? Or are they even solving problems? So I'm someone who helped solve the problem of people's utilities bills being disconnected. I am someone who helped solve the problems of improving the water quality and air quality in Tallahassee. I'm someone who helped solve problems with the Providence Neighborhood Association in terms of not having enough social activities because they had a closed community center during the pandemic. So we need a problem solver in our city commission to provide that alternative solution. We cannot continue to say no and not provide the solution. If we keep doing that, we will not have any progress in our city.
I'm with it. And I want to add that not only is Shelby talking that talk, again, the website, which is www.shelbytlh.com, which, again, if you're looking at the live, you can see the cover. You can visit that site, and the proof is there. The proof is in the pudding. She shows what she's done as far as the utility displacement, work as far as water quality and air quality in the city, and for trying to build quality sustainability in Tallahassee. So she's put in the work, like she said. And so to have her on the commission to push that would be very, very important. Shout out to my mother, who stated another issue since the Texas school shooting is making sure schools are safer. Now, Mama, as your son, I'm gonna be as respectful as possible, but I don't give up on some of these people when we get down to these guns and shooting. After what was the tragedy? Sandy Hook.
Yeah,
I was done. I realized that fight is child. Anyway, but back to Shelby. Shelby is putting in the work. So I behoove anyone that's listening, if you listen to the podcast or if you're watching the live, to check out her website. She's also, matter of fact, good God of Zion, I forgot to change the banner at the bottom for contact information so y'all can get to her. I apologize, Ms. Green.
Oh, I didn't even notice.
Let me switch this up. So you guys can follow Shelby on Facebook at Shelby TLH. The same for the IG. And you also have a diary with Shelby TLH. Substack.com. How's that going?
It's been fun. I actually write in it every day, but I actually don't upload all the posts because I'm like, wow, this is me being really honest. I don't know if I want to be this honest. Like, I was writing about how we recently had a forum and I didn't present myself the way I wanted to, in terms of I wanted to have stronger responses to questions. I should have been more prepared, etc. And I actually, after I got home from the forum, I just sat on my couch and cried. And I was just immobile. And I wrote it all down in my diary. And I was like, I do want to be transparent about this, but the bruise was too fresh for me to post it. Later on, I'll go back and post it, but I at least want to like really document what it's really like to run for city commission, especially in a city like Tallahassee where politics is toxic here. You know, we have an issue with corruption for a reason. They don't want people in office who want structural progressive change. They want to keep the status quo as it is. And so I'm like, if it's not me, then at least this information can be used by someone else who wants to get into politics and who wants to be informed about what they're going into, because it's so easy to get distracted or get roped into the wrong people and be used and exploited and manipulated. So I wanted to just like document everything that I experience, or release it into the world, and provide a space for people to really have a view into what it's like to actually, you know, run for office. And this is not the way that politics should be. It should be civil. It should be respectful. People should be transparent. But that's not the case. So I felt like it was especially important to document and publicly share my experience so that people are talking about transparency, accountability, and all these other issues that arise in our city.
Okay, no doubt, and I'm with you. I think I mentioned earlier, I think when we were talking off camera, yo, like, man, I was so wish politics, we can be politics, that we can talk about policy over politics. And yeah, just can we talk about just fixing the road, fixing these purple lights, bro? Can we fix these purple lights?
Yeah, exactly. We should be thinking about these things, but we should be thinking about, how cool would it be to have kayaks at Cascades Park, or how cool would it be to clean up Lake Ella and have, recreation there? Like, we should be thinking about what can we do to make our city enjoyable for us. That is the job of our local government, to provide a safety net, but also to provide services that make people want to live there. Because at the end of the day, a city is a product.
Right.
You got to think about the market. And I think that's what people are kind of missing. It's like, well, what is a city commission and what is a local government? What are these things, But a local government is supposed to regulate the market. And we are interfacing with their products every day, and their products such as utilities, transportation, recreation. For some of us, it's great. For others, it's unaffordable. It is unreliable, and it is a market that you don't want to use, but you have to because it's the only option, because our city is a monopoly. So I just want to remind people, if you're unhappy about anything in this city, go to your city commissioners. It is their job to solve your problems.
Yo, I be wanting to tell people, man, like, do you even know who represents you? Like, who represents your area, your city commissioner, your county commissioner, your state representative, your state senator, you know what I'm saying? Like, all these other stuff. Because I think, keep this short because I know we got to wrap it up. But, people get so caught up in the federal stuff because, again, that's the sexy thing to talk about. Rather if it's gold branding or not. It's like, at the end of the day, that's almost in a sense far away. You know what I'm saying? Like, DC is so far away. The country is vast. You can touch, for better or for worse, your city and county commissioner. You can contact them. You can go to their office. You can see them in the street somewhere. Ran into Shelby twice already. So there's like people, they are available to you. Like, focus on that, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to wanting to get on social media and rant about if Joe Biden is doing enough for gas prices or not. Like, and granted, it's not saying that that's not a valid point of view, but there's tons of stuff that's right in front of you, right in front of your front door that needs to be solved, and you have the ability to move that more so than you would trying to influence someone in DC, or even though we're in Tallahassee, at the Capitol.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You get more leeway going to City Hall, or going to wherever I guess the courthouse where the county meets at. As my wife said, vote your local officials. That matters just as much.
Right.
If even more so. So, regardless, Shelby, I am thrilled. This has been a very engaging conversation, and I thank you for taking your time out to be on this humble podcast. I do think I'm the best rap podcast in Tallahassee. I think I can say that.
Fair.
Sorry to the competition.
Wait until I start a podcast.
So if there's anything you want to, any parting words you want to give to the people out there.
Yeah. This has been such a pleasure. Thank you so much, Enigma, for having a platform, speaking your truth and allowing others to share their perspective. I just want to encourage our listeners to get involved. Now is the time to get involved, to think about what do I want? What do I want this city to look like? And how can I work to make this city the best city that it can be? Tallahassee has so much potential, and we have to capitalize on it. So I'm encouraging you all to vote for Shelby Green, August 23rd. If you are not registered to vote, you have until July 25th to register. Go to www.registertovoteflorida.gov to get registered. And if anything, I just want to encourage you all that we live in this society, in this city together. Let's treat each other well, and let's work together to bring the change that we want to see and that's desperate in Tallahassee. So yeah, we can build an affordable, equitable, and sustainable city, but it starts by doing that together and getting involved.
Boom, boom, boom. And there you have it. Miss Shelby Green, the City Commission, seat 5. One day I'm gonna grow up and throw my hat in the ring.
As you should. Why not? Everyone should do it.
Oh no, I don't know. I think I'm old school. I got some bones in the closet. I don't know.
That's why I'm like, let me be as transparent as possible.
Like, let the youngest have it, because if I come out, I'm like, hold up, he did this. That was 2002, bro. Chill. I'm trying to make a change. Don't matter. Anywho, thank you very much. And off top, most important, like you said, if you haven't registered to vote, go ahead. Make sure you get registered by July 25th. Be prepared to vote August 25th. So don't wait for November.
No. This is August election. Vote in August 23rd.
Right. So be prepared for that. And also, I want to extend an invitation to any of the competitors in Shelby's race or any local race. If you want to come on the Enigma Sept Hour podcast, holla at your boy. Shouts out to my man DJ A to the L. Holla at your boy, and you come on and speak your piece just as well. If not, you're lost, and you'll probably lose because I'm trying to build some power. Y'all gonna see. I'm joking. Anyway, thank you, Shelby. Thank you for everyone that watched. My wife, Fee, I love you. Mom, I love you. Thank you for staying up and watching me do this. And my cousin Abe, and I love you, boy. I appreciate you. Other than that, we are out. Also, DJ Bush for letting me interrupt your bay time. Sorry, Sarah. You do it to me on Thursdays. It's even. We out of here. This is the Enigma Sept Hour podcast. You got time, baby.